It's not just that Westbrook wants to come to Denver. It's that Nikola Jokic, I'm told, wants him here.
Yeah.
And that gives me a little more belief.
You son of a...
Nicely into
Westbrook, well, shooting 54% from the field. Backing in when you see numbers like that, as you see a lot of this. Jokic finds Russell Westbrook.
Coach Malone allowed me to be able to use my speed, use my transition skill to be able to make other guys better. Makes the game easy for everybody surround me, and that's what I love to do best.
By far the best story in the NBA this year, the best comeback story in the NBA, is the revival and resurgence of one Russell Westbrook playing alongside Nikola Jokic. And of course, Russ coming out of LA, this guy's career was at a tipping point of not being an NBA player, being forced to retire, or head overseas to play in China.
And as one source told me, you remove a vampire from the locker room. That meaning a vampire sucks the blood out of the locker room. Russell Westbrook moves on.
Simply put, Westbrook's career, it came right up to the line of being forced to retire and call it quits. But that one Serbian guy, Nikola Jokic, kind of just revived this guy's career out of nowhere. And of course, Jokic this past summer, there were rumors swirling that he wanted Westbrook, he saw something in him, and a lot of fans called Jokic crazy, insane, because of course Russ, he's a quote-unquote vampire team cancer, and it wouldn't work with any NBA team. Now that right there, that was the narrative, but these two guys on the court, their playing chemistry, it's nothing short of spectacular and a basketball miracle. As in less than 40 games together, these two guys have formed some magical bond and chemistry that for a lot of duos takes multiple seasons.
Averaging 10 points a game this season, that's a career low for him. Dump it into Jokic. Jokic extra pass. Westbrook. Russell Westbrook up. Jokic down the middle. Westbrook!
Yes! That's awesome!
I mean, that right there is basketball in its purest form, and that is what makes the game a beautiful game. And for someone like Westbrook, who's known as a ball-dominant player, him moving off-ball, being a slasher, but also a great backdoor cutter, just cutter in general, that's what makes this duo so special and really must-see TV. And again, if you played basketball, things like backdoor cuts, lobs, and those things take very, very good timing, precise timing, and years of building chemistry on and off the court. So the fact that Russell Westbrook, a guy who's been pushed out of the NBA, developed this quick, odd chemistry with Jokic so fast, it is really a basketball miracle.
I love it.
At this point, Russ is playing so well, gelling with Jokic so much, you gotta ask the question, is he Denver's second best player and the Robin to Nikola's Batman? At this point, it's starting to look like that, as Russ in the starting lineup is a much different player, much more efficient player than Russ off the bench in Denver. As Russ starting, 15 points, 8 dimes, phenomenal shooting, and a plus 95. Now Russell off the bench, 11 points per game, 6 dimes, only 40% shooting, and a minus 69. Now that right there, an obvious contrast, the bench numbers versus the starter numbers, and I think the answer to why that is Nikola Jokic. As the Joker, much like a Magic Johnson, elevates guys who are kind of written off, cast aside, and aren't looked at as viable NBA players. And the scary thing is Russ in the starting lineup, those numbers don't really do him justice, as of late, he's been on fire gaining confidence and gaining chemistry with the Joker. As 2 games ago, had 25-point triple-double, and versus the Mavericks, some crucial backdoor cut buckets to give them a very solid victory.
I mean, you know, they're going to play through Jokic, and obviously PJ's taking on responsibility with Lively getting 5 fouls, but into the last minute.
2 defenders to Jokic again. He makes the right decision.
If you told me Russell Westbrook, age 36, would have this impact in Denver, I honestly would have called you crazy. And even 2 months ago when Russell Westbrook was starting to kind of turn around and find his footing, I would have said back then, you know, he's their 3rd, 4th best player. At this point, he's pushing 2nd best player, at worst, their 3rd best player. And I think the biggest elephant in the room is Russell Westbrook versus Jamal Murray. And I'm not talking individual player versus individual player, I'm talking team concept, the best starting five to win a championship. In my view, someone like Jamal Murray off the bench to close the first quarter, start the second quarter, could be a phenomenal player. And of course in the fourth quarter, we've seen that dude close numerous games, hit many big time shots. So Jamal off the bench, I don't think it's a knock on him or his individual play style. I just think someone like Russ in the starting lineup with the Joker, he's exponentially better with him than without him. So you want to maximize the team's overall ceiling, I would say put Jamal on the bench, be the best sixth man in the league, and have Russ run with the Joker.
Logical.
And of course, looking at Jamal past that championship run, he's kind of stagnated, plateaued, even got a little bit worse. I thought this guy 2 years ago had all-star written all over him, but injuries, getting banged up here, banged up there, and just not being reliable has soured me big time on Jamal Murray. And looking at both these guys, Russ versus Jamal in January, and the overall numbers production, it is pretty telling. Jamal, a solid 16-5-4, 41% shooting, and Russ, a borderline 18-point triple-double, and highly efficient.
These are the facts of the case, and they are undisputed.
For someone like Westbrook, one of his best traits is being healthy, reliable, and is always there. Jamal, the big knock on him, he's inconsistent and always banged up. And once again, looking at the Jokic-Westbrook connection, why it's so vital to Denver's success, these two guys feed off each other like a few duos in the NBA. As looking at the Joker, his field goals made off assist is a grand total of 279. Now, out of those made field goals off assist, 88 of them come via Russell Westbrook, the most out of anyone on Denver's roster. And percentage-wise, it's 31.5%, the most ever of any Jokic teammate. Now looking at the inverse, Russell Westbrook, 91 made field goals off assist of teammates. Out of those 91, 45 of them come via the Joker.
That he did play some 3-on-3 full court.
Clear out up against Steve, but you can't. Oh, man.
Oh, beautiful.
When looking at Westbrook's revival, his resurgence, I think it once again proves the Joker can elevate talent like few players in NBA history, as really any player in the NBA can play alongside this guy. At the end of the day, he's one of the easiest players to play with and play off of. And looking at Westbrook the individual, one thing we do have to acknowledge historically, when you're an MVP player, a top tier player, and you start quote unquote declining, getting slandered, getting traded, I mean your stock starts plummeting across the NBA. A lot of guys who are top tier players, MVPs, do not bounce back from that. One of the most glaring examples of this is actually Allen Iverson, who funny enough got traded from Denver and his NBA career kind of ended, as post-Denver only played 28 games and was done at age 34.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Once that stinking narrative gets on you that you're a toxic teammate, a cancer, not a winning player, and you're an older veteran player, your days are numbered. So Russ being age 36, having this third act, it is indeed pretty special, as someone like Iverson never got that shot or that chance to prove himself past age 34. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. The Westbrook Redemption Tour Redemption arc, it is a thing of beauty. And if you want to watch beautiful basketball, just watch the Joker and Russ, their connection, their backdoor cuts and lobs, because that is beautiful basketball, and basketball in its purest form. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.